Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about one of my favorite topics, namely empowerment. I have no other intention for this channel but to share knowledge with you guys the way I have come to experience it in my own research lab as well as other professors' labs when it comes to neuroscience, cognitive sciences, and also a little bit of my own knowledge when it comes to quantum mechanics, and as well as information science, etc. The way I explain it is just the way I have come to learn the truth about these sciences, and I combine them together with some of the current events as well as other events that happens in anybody's life, basically. But you can interpret it the way that makes most sense to you, because all I can do is to speak the truth the way I have come to learn it. But it may or may not sound exactly the same when it comes to your situation, when you're to your own surroundings. And I try to connect all these topics together and look at it both from the science perspective, but also from the psyche and human psyche perspective, but also from spiritual perspective. And that doesn't mean that we don't end up, for example, talk about finances, for example. Recently, I've been tweeting a lot about finances because I think that that is one area in our lives where we can empower ourselves, although there is an extremely dire situation happening left and right. So there's nothing wrong with that, what I'm trying. And one of those ways in which we can empower ourselves is to take back control. 2020, specifically starting from 2020, a lot of us have felt that we've been manipulated by extreme control of our surroundings, of our officials and governments. And so as a result, a lot of us might feel that we're no longer in control. And making sure that we feel empowered on a daily basis is imperative to our health, not only physical health, but emotional and brain health. And which then in turn also corresponds and helps with our financial situations, because once we start empowering ourselves more and more on a daily basis, and once we figure out what is it that empower us, it'll be less likely that we will go and give airtime too much with the stuff and with the people that do not empower us. And that's very important. It's only you who can determine what is it in your life that empowers you. What I can do is to categorize it and make us a little bit more aware of it so that we do it on a daily basis. Because these empowerments, these small steps that we take on a daily basis to empower ourselves, will potentially makes us feel like we're taking back the control. We're taking back control of our lives. One of these empowerments is obviously physical, another one is financial, another one is emotional, and also mental, etc. And so it's very important to be crystal clear with ourselves when it comes to these type of empowerment, because then we can do it more and more on a daily basis, and making sure that we don't waste our time on the things that are not empowering to us. If you've been reading my tweets lately, it's more about financial empowerment than anything else, mainly because in 2020, a lot of us went through dire situation, more than what we're used to. And once we lose control of our finances, once we feel like some other people outside of us have control over our finances, it's very easy that we lose that sense of security and sense of confidence, and more importantly, sense of empowerment. We actually lose the power which then, unfortunately, if we let it go and not paying attention to it and taking control of it, can potentially make us sick. That's why a lot of people end up getting depressed or sick once their finances goes down the drain. I don't care what your background is. I don't care whether you're very seasoned and have a lot of experience or have a lot of education or not. There's always things we can do to empower ourselves financially. And 2020 has also presented us not only with dire situation, but also with a lot of situation where we can earn money. And whatever basically your cup of tea is in terms of finding ways to earn money, one of the things that we can do and we should do is to continue with it, because the more we feel like we're learning, for example, we're educating ourselves when it comes to finances, and we try to take small steps here and there to improve our finances, the more empowered we become. This is true even for those of us who've lost our businesses. A lot of us small businesses, we've lost it. Same goes for people who have lost their jobs. And I hope none of you belong to that category, but I know a lot of people are, especially in 2020. And it's a horrible feeling. It's not good, because we feel not only financially disempowered, but also emotionally, because we feel like we were not good enough or we lost this and that. But a lot of it has been, at least to some extent, out of our control. So obviously the things that are out of control we cannot control, but we can control how we define money in our lives, how we define our financial situations in our lives. So again, regardless of our background, there's always ways to earn money in a obviously positive way and legal way, obviously. So to give you an example, for me, it was very difficult, because for me, as a small business owner, especially, that it was just a very, very small and sort of, I had just given birth to the business, and losing that, it was very, very hard. But just to give you an example, for me, what I did to empower myself is that I started educating myself, both in microeconomics and anything that I could get a hold of when it came to finances. Now, you may be really good at it, but me coming from, tech and science, I was not really good at it. And just the fact that I taught myself these microeconomics, these small ways in which I could start earning money a little bit here and there, at least, empowered me. And that empowerment, what it does with your brain and at the brain frequency level, is that it just creates more and more of the same level of brain frequencies. Sometimes they are gamma frequencies, and sometimes actually also alpha when you are, let's say, in a resting mode. Nonetheless, they are very powerful and empowering type of frequencies. They're high in energy. They are being exhibited at parts of your scalp, the scalp of the brain. We can measure that are directly correlated to positive and empowerment of the brain and how we feel, and those will just bring more and more of those frequencies. Once we start taking these small steps, all it does is that it becomes a snowball effect, that it just makes you crave even more stuff that empowers you. So what I'm trying to say with this video, and again, I get inspired making these videos, and it's not like I have a hidden agenda as to what topics to talk about. It just, so I feel it because I experience it with myself and everybody else, and I just talk about it. But one thing I wanted to say in particular with this video is that do as much as stuff that you can on a daily basis to empower yourself. And if there's anything that is not empowering, stay away from it. We cannot, and I repeat, we cannot afford more disempowering stuff in our life. And with stuff, I mean, it could be friends, family, it could be things, it could be places, it could be TV shows, it could be TV program, anything, school, parents, spouses, whatever. But try to put yourself in an empowering situation and be deliberate about it, because once you're deliberate about it, what you do is that you emanate, you create one brain frequencies that is empowering to you, and because of that, it just becomes stronger and stronger and becomes like a snowball effect, because just that little brain frequency that empowered you will crave more and more frequency, so it will create more. What goes on in the world is, the way I see it sometimes, is pretty disempowering. And there's only so much airtime we can give to stuff that are disempowering. Why? We can still be informed. We can still obviously know what's going on in the world, but we don't have to get sucked into it, because the main reason you don't want to get sucked into it is that you're no good once you get sick to anybody. Once you get sick, once you're disempowered, once you're depressed, once you go down that rabbit hole, you will be no good, not to yourself and not to your surroundings. So we might as well do something so that we are in an empowered situation, so that at least we do right by ourselves. That's the least we can do. So the trick now is to find ways that are empowering to us, even at a very, very small level. And those things that are not empowering, the trick is to start staying away from it, or making sure that we don't put ourselves in those situations or with those people. The more we do this empowering thing, I promise you, the more and more you will feel empowered. You get just pumped up. And finances is one of them. So I highly recommend to anybody, especially people like me who are such a rookie when it comes to, like, you know, learning about a lot of finance and economics. I highly recommend to you know, those of you out there to learn as much as you can. And there are a lot of amazing people on YouTube who are teaching those stuff for free. So I watch them a lot. And I think those type of videos really empower me, because I feel like I'm taking back control, especially because there was a lot of, you know, financial loss for me. And so that just makes me, and again, I'm just taking me as an example, to sort of create more and more brain frequencies that are at that level. And because of that, you know, I feel inspired enough, for example, to do these videos, because with these videos, I'm also empowered to empower, you know, to share this empowerment with everybody else. And I know, because a lot of us went through this financial crisis, that is one of the major ways in which a lot of us have felt out of control and depressed a little bit, and also disempowered. So I encourage you, as always, to please consider it, please think about it, and also see and identify what is it on a daily basis that are not empowering to you. Let's say it's a friend or family, or a situation for that matter, or a TV show that is just not making you feel like empowered, doesn't make you feel, you know, good. Then one step would be to start staying away from it and do something else instead that is empowering to you, whatever that thing for you is. So that's all I had for today. If you're, by the way, interested in soundtracks, I made a separate playlist for you guys, so you don't have to watch the content that you're not interested in. Thanks so much again for all your comments. I appreciate it. Share this video if you like and comment. You know, I appreciate it. Take care. Bye.